Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. If you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all, because we learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at Tesla today. And as you can see, y'all know I like to look at the 30-minute chart. It tells me a story that I like to read. As of right now, Tesla, we came down to this 245.93 area only to bounce and go back to the upside. However, it's been trading interesting considering we were at the 258 on yesterday. The ATR trailing stop as of now is the 250.91 area. We got rejected here, as well as the 200 EMA. There was a rejection here. So Tesla has not made a high of, the high has only been the 250.91. Definitely need to watch that and remember that. Why? Because if you're trading to the upside, it needs to clear that, move back to the upside and make a new high to give us confirmation that we it's a strong move back to the upside. So where are the trouble places for Tesla as of right now? We'll go back to the upside again. If we need to break back above the 250.91, make a new high, if we should have trouble there, we could possibly, or if we should break that area, 251.81 could be a resistance area. If we should break that, I have the 252.28 level marked, and if we should break that level, we could very well come back to this zone around the 253.37, trade in that area, because as you can see, we've been there before. So breaking that 253.47 area, we could possibly have trouble again. 254.76, is it possible? Absolutely. Just keep in mind there's a lot of rejection in this area here. So breaking above this 255.28, we could possibly have trouble again. 256, if we should break that, 256.33, and breaking that brings us back to around the 257.19 area. Now Tesla normally exceeds its ATR, meaning the average true range, in either direction. So I say if you trade Tesla today, trade carefully, right? So back to the downside, as you can see right now, I have this level here marked at the 249.52, or the, let's say the 249.05 was the level that I have marked. However, the 20 EMA is a support area for us. If we should break that, we could very well find support 248.35. Breaking that brings us to 247.54, which is an inside day. Let me say that. If we should break that level, we could very well find support again, 247.26. Breaking that, 246.55. And if we should break that, 246.93 could be reached today, and again, the 4 o'clock candle gave her a low of 244.82, so we could very well come back to that. Now, if we break that 244.82, we could very well come back to 244 even for Tesla. Breaking that 244 brings us back to this area here at 242.66. So if you are trading Tesla today, those are kind of like areas to the upside and to the downside. Again, not financial advice. Let me say that, right? So I did mention that Tesla is an inside day candle. And if we break above the 258.75, the upside target for Tesla is around 261.80. Now to the downside, which we are kind of like at that place, under the 247.54, we have a downside target here of the 245.98. So if you are trading Tesla today, those are areas kind of like, your support and resistance that I will pay very close attention to. Now, we are now looking at the SPY. We closed at 537.61. We too have made a low here of 529. That's interesting to see us back at this area, right? We got rejected at the 50 EMA, and as of now, the support could very well be around the 200 EMA. I have this level of 533.10 marked, but around the 200 EMA as of now is around the 532, let's say the 532.81 area. So we're the trouble places for the SPY. Back to the upside, we would need to get back above 534.31. Just know 534.87, 535.18, 535.61, 536.29, 536.82, breaking that around the 537.72 area could be resistance areas for the SPY. Now back to the downside, under the 200 EMA, which is around the 532.80 area. Let's say that if we break under that 532.26, again 531.82, 531.39, 530.94, breaking that 530.35, and if we should break that, it kind of brings us back to the 530.02, which is an area we've been stopped at here before, and under that 529.35, which is not far from the 529.04 area that we came down to. But again, I have this level of 529.35, and as you can see, the body here, the body here, the body here, wick here. So that's an area of support for the SPY that we definitely need to pay very close attention to, the 529.34, 35 area. So if you are trading the SPY today, those are areas to the upside and to the downside. Again, y'all, not financial advice. Now we are looking at Meta. We closed at 521.52, and let's see where those trouble places are as of right now. It looks as if we got tried to reach this 50 EMA only to get, there were some sellers here, so there was a rejection there. So as of now, resistance is around the 512.95, support is around the 509.96, and it kind of brings us back to the zone. As you can see, that's where we're trading. So we're going to use the resistance here, 512.95, support at 509.96, back to the upside. If by chance for Meta we break above 519, 515.19, we could very well have trouble here, 516.97. If we should break that level, we could possibly have trouble 519.45. If we break that level, 521.52. If we should break that level, we could possibly have trouble around the 524.65. And if we should break that level, 527.67 could be a resistance area. Now, breaking that 527.67 area, 527.74, 528.97 could be a rejection, which is in between, not far from the 200 EMA at the 530.43. So if you're trading Meta today, those are kind of like resistance areas. Now back to the downside, if by chance we break under 509.96, we could possibly have trouble again around 507.96, and only because there was a something stopped us here, 507.88 area. If we should break that, 506.69, something stopped us here, and then the ATR trailing stop is at 505.37. So that was, in my opinion, strong support, y'all, because ATR trailing stop gives me strong support, strong resistance, only my opinion, right? Back to the downside, if we break that ATR trailing stop at the 505.37, we could possibly find support 504.17, and breaking that brings us back to 497.76. So if you are trading Meta today, those are kind of your support and resistance, or areas that I will watch to the upside and to the downside. And I say so often, not financial advice. So we are now looking at NVDA. We closed at 112.20. And it looks like it's kind of trading in a zone. Is the market going down today, right? So let's say back to the upside. Right now, resistance 105.08. Support is around 104.45. So let's say bring our support down to here around the 104.20. So support at 104.20, resistance 105.08. Back to the upside, if we could possibly get back to the upside, we could possibly have trouble 105.89, breaking that 106.24, which is not far from the 106.37 ATR trailing stop. Y'all see how close those lines are. It's so important that we mark that. So if we should break the ATR trailing stop at 106.37, we could possibly have trouble 106.91, again here at 107.14, and if we break that 107.14 for NVIDIA, 108.18 could be a rejection area for us. Now back to the downside, if by chance we break under this 104.26, keep in mind the body is here, the body is here, the body is here, 104.26 area, we could very well have support around 103.86, 103.62, and if we should break that, 102.46. So if you're trading NVIDIA today, these are areas that I would watch to the upside and to the downside. Now under the 102.46, we could very well come back to $100.51. If we should break that, $99.35. So if you're trading NVIDIA today, those are kind of like areas to the upside and to the downside. Y'all know I say, again, not financial advice. Now we are looking at AMD. We closed at 95.29, and this candle was very interesting. It brought us back to a zone, as you can see here, resistance at around 89.06, support It's around the 87.70 area, but we can come and mark another area here around the 88.32. I'm going to see if I can show that. Why? Because that's where the body of my candles are as of now. Let's say here. So we're kind of trading in this little zone here for AMD. Support at around 88.32, resistance at around 89.06. That's the zone that we're trading in. Where are the trouble places? That 20 EMA at 89.16 could be a resistance area. If we break that, 89.82, breaking that brings us back to $90.47, which is not far from this 50 EMA and the ATR trailing stop right at $90.76. Should we break that, 91.68 is the 200 EMA as of now. Those are going to be possible rejection areas for us for AMD. Now back to the downside. Under this level of 88.32, we could very well find support 87.70. And if we should break that, y'all, we could very well come back to 85.21. And let's see, under that 85.21, 83.18, and under that 81.50. 81.50. Those are your support and resistance areas for AMD today. And y'all know I say in this market anything is possible. Let's look at the VIX today just to see where we are, only because it gives me an idea of what's going on with the SPY. And it seems like the VIX have gapped up today, meaning the SPY should be down today. Normally when the VIX is up, the SPY is down, right? So where are the trouble places? Support at around 31.50, resistance around the 31.90. Now, which right where the 50 EMA is here, and it looks like we got rejected here. So can we continue back to the upside the next time we hit this area? Absolutely. So where are the trouble places for the VIX? If we break above 31.90, we could very well come back to around the 32.54. Breaking that brings us back. Y'all see where the body of those candles are here, somewhere around the 33.22 area. Breaking at 33.22, we could very well come back to the 33.63. Something stopped us in this area here. And if we should break that, we have 34.23. Breaking at 34.23, the 200 EMA, 35.31, could be a rejection area for us. And if we should break that, 36.29 could very well be a rejection area for the VIX. Now back to the downside. Under this level here of 31.15, we could very well come back to around $30.53. Breaking that brings us kind of back down to $30. Let's see, $30.29, and then the $30 range. So if we break the $30, there's an area here around the 29.66 area. Should we break that, we come back to 29.22 for the VIX, and breaking that level brings us back to 28.64. Keep in mind, normally when the VIX goes down, the SPY goes up, and when the VIX is up, the SPY is down. Let's go look at the SPY just to see. And y'all, I wanted to point out that I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale. Why? Because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my trouble places are. So we may have a lot of places on my charts because it helps me to see where my possible trouble places are. So we are now looking at the SPY. We closed at 537.61, and as you can see, y'all, this, you know, that 529 area, only to go back up, find that support here. So we definitely need to, if you're trading today, I would say trade carefully today. In this market, anything is possible. I always like to go back and look and see where we are. You know, that candle here is telling us we had some strong selling here on this 30-minute chart. The candle has not closed yet. As of now, that 200 EMA is going to be a support area for us, so we definitely need to watch that. And Tesla, I wanted to see what was going. Tesla kind of did the exact same thing here on this candle, so we definitely need to watch it. Back to the downside, it looks like we've gotten rejected. It looks like we're trying to, the market very well may go down today, let me say that. But we do have some inside day candles. Let me go ahead and get that. Disney is an inside day candle. If by chance we break above 85.99, 86.54 is the target. Under 84.40, downside target 84.07. Disney is an inside day candle for today. And let's see, it normally moves $4.59 per day. Keep in mind, y'all, that could be in either direction. So if you're trading Disney today, it is an inside day candle. Y'all, Macy's is an inside day candle today. Let's say above $11.57. cents. Upside target 11.67. Now to the downside under 11.13. 11.13 is the target, and y'all see we've already reached that downside target here pre-market, so that's something to be mindful of. However, we're back in that $11 range. So I would say trade carefully. Marvell, MRVL, is an inside day candle. If by chance we have already reached that target to the downside, but let's go ahead and give the upside just in case. Above 54.23, upside target 56.08. To the downside under 51.22, downside, no, under 52.38. Downside target was the 51.22. As y'all can see, we've already made the $50.01. So if you're trading Marvell today, it is an inside day candle, and we've already reached that downside target. Does not mean we cannot continue declining. It normally moves $5.50 per day. So again, Marvell is on the list as an inside day candle. SoFi is next on our list as an inside day candle. Let's see, above $11.05, we have an upside target of $11.23. To the downside under $10.69, $10.50 is the target. SoFi normally moves $1.16 per day. So if that is something that you trade, I would watch those levels. Again, not financial advice. Set your alerts just to let you know that it has reached that level. Again, y'all, this is what I see when I look at the market. There's so many different ways to trade the market, and what's challenging is sometimes finding the strategy that works best for you and having the discipline to execute your plan. I always say make sure you set your stop losses, or whatever it is that you choose to use. Make sure you have the discipline to execute your plan, and always have a plan. So again, I hope that everyone have a very productive day, and if you could please again like, share, comment, subscribe, because we learn and we grow together. So until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.